Hello. So guys, sorry for the change of pace. I had recently made or posted a few videos of, thing I've been working on. It was pretty fun. But today I am here to help people out with making 3D models in blockbench. So the first thing you want to do is you're gonna want to whatever you're making, you look here. It's gonna be a just model for something that's not Minecraft. You would probably pick a generic model or image, and you would start working there. But now I'm working on right now. I'm doing a tutorial on Minecraft stuff. So you can see here, there's lots of options. But right now I'm gonna go work on modded entities because that's what I tend to work on. And you're gonna hit create model and add file name. Like I'm gonna name this guy test because I don't have a good name for him. And you're just gonna use these settings or whatever settings you really want. I wouldn't really recommend having a model identifier or an entity class. Confirm, and this is where you normally start. So what you do from here is you want to create an element or add an element by clicking this. If you're on PC, I don't know where it is or if you're on mobile, but I may have to do a separate video on that. And you see this is here is named cube. You can rename it to part 1. It's just name has come up with. So let's say what we want to do with this is we want to let's make it the head of the 3D model. So you're going to want to create a bone. And normally 3D model heads would have the model identifier as head. So that way the game can identify it as that part of the body, but it doesn't really have to be. It's just easier to name it that. And for customizable player models for that mod, you would need to name it this, so that way it identifies that as that part of the player model. But this is a mod entity, so we don't really need to do that. So, this is going to be just a little guy, right? It's a little guy. Oh, hold up. Yeah, so this, gonna want to make the pivot point. Okay, so this tool is the pivot tool, right? I'm getting ahead of myself here, which allows you to move up, down, and all around the pivot points with these arrows. You can move back and forth. It'll tell you how much pixels you're moving forward, right next to your mouse. As you can see next to mine. I'm gonna stick the pivot point right in the center right there, and this will allow me to move it from this point. It's okay. Um, oh, we have to move the cube. You don't move the. I was still stuck on the group. Okay. So what you want to do is you're gonna want to move this up and down. I'll move this like right up here. You can kind of like look around here and well, actually, I have a funny little idea. Hold up. We're gonna make this a 3 by 3 cube by resizing it. This tool is the resize tool. I almost forgot to mention that, and it allows you to resize by a certain amount of pixels, like this. It's like the movement tool, the pivot tool, and you also have the rotate tool, which allows you to rotate stuff to really whatever angles you want. Um, we'll get into a bit of that later, but we're gonna want to move this up one more. What I'm planning to make this over here. Actually, this works. I'm gonna move it over one, and this actually looks good. So what I'm planning to make here is just a little guy that's gonna walk. Has 2 legs. So let's make one leg and then another. I'm gonna create 2 groups for each of the leg. Where's the other cube? I made another cube. Okay, we're gonna have 2 more groups for each of the legs. We're gonna move these out of there and move each of these into each of these. We don't really have to name the cubes, but you can if you want. And we're gonna name this group leg 1 and leg 2 because it doesn't really have to have just 2 legs, so you can have more than one. Like you could have like 100 or something, but that'd take a long time to animate. But back to the topic here, we're gonna just so you can resize these cubes, as you can see. I'm gonna make it a 1 by 1 by 2 because it's a little guy, and um yeah, that's basically what we're gonna start doing here. And we're gonna you can also increase the size of this thing, which is where the texture would normally be. I don't have them for them yet, but oh yeah. Also, if you want to make a 2D model, you can just do this. It's just 0 pixels thick. But if you have two sides to the texture, sometimes they'll like clip a tiny bit through to the other side. So I would not recommend having two sides to a 2D texture, just one side. If you're gonna have two sides, just have another 2D texture, like probably 1 pixel behind this one. If you're gonna have another side to it. Okay, yeah, but I'm gonna. Oh, actually, nice. Um, and then so you see, we have the legs, the body. Oh, I don't know, there's the head, but you can name them leg one, leg two, right leg, left leg, whatever. That it really doesn't matter. It's all up to you, all up to your preference. Because we're not talking about customizable player models, we're not gonna really. Wait. Okay, hold up. I got this. Also, hold up. There's also one more thing I have to bring up here is that you can actually uh write in the position right here. So if you want to get a precise position, you can say like 0.5. It's not. Okay. So we don't want to move it 0.5 this way because if we did 0.5 that way, let's type it again. 0.5 that way, it would just move up half a pixel and it just will stay with that 0.5, but we're gonna make it make the pivot point position probably over 0.5. Oh, it's negative 0.5. See, now it's right here. Now he's not on the ground, so he's just gonna be hovering up 1 pixel. And the fact that you don't know how to code it. Oh my god, there's one more. Okay, so this one too, we're gonna need to move this pivot point over to 0.5. That moved too far forward. Okay, negative 0.5. That's a lot better. Okay, that was what? Okay, no, let's move this over. Don't mind this. Just gonna skip forward past this when I'm editing the video. Hope I remember. All right, we're gonna move it over 0.5. Wait, did it? I moved it. Okay, there we go. This is basically what it looks like for this little dude that I don't really have a name for yet. It's gonna look like. Ooh, actually, I could add this to. Ooh, also, I have been working with people on a mod. It's still a work in progress, and I'm not gonna really disclose any info about it yet. I mean, I'm allowed to, but I'm not gonna. Um, yeah, it's something I'm working on. And so you also have the paint tab here, see? But to paint it, you need a texture. This is a very little guy, so we need probably a kind of pretty small texture. Just, so just you don't have to estimate texture. Just get like a 64 by 64 or something. This one probably need like a 32. Oh wait, hold up. I prefer to use this one. Just can create a new drawing. Just create a texture for it, like a texture palette. Just do this, I guess. And then you can just download it. If you this is only if you want to draw it in blockbench. You can do it here if you want, but that's up to you. I'm gonna go back to blockbench. Upload this, and we're gonna go edit. See where each of these things are. That is actually. I'm gonna put this right here. So we're gonna move these to where we want them to be. Like where's this? So we're gonna move these around strategically to Actually, that works. Okay, so now we have the paint tool. The paint tool we can just use like this, see? And you can see that it's actually on the pixel that your mouse cursor is on. See, mine's purple. And you can color it in whatever you want. We're gonna just make that one white. We can make this one blue. This you have the entire color selection here. It's really cool. Just anything like this gray. Make this one. No, we could do like purple. Just gonna do this. And yeah, this little dude. It's a little guy, you know. And then what you'd probably want to do next after you paint it a lot, obviously better than this. I do a lot better than this most of the time. Trust me. Um, Next you want to do is animate them. And this is where it gets kind of difficult because it takes a while to animate them. And is that the pivot point? Oh yeah. So animation actually relies on the groups. So you can animate it through the groups. And you're also going to need to edit the pivot points of the groups. This is going to take a bit. Okay, just skip past this because it's going to take a while. It's also going to be a very boring amount of time. I just realized that there's like 2x2 texture. Pretty cool. I didn't even notice I was going to do that. I could also make it like any resolution. Ooh, actually, I'll get to that later. Here we go. Let's see. What was I going to do? Oh, I remember now. ADHD. Minus 0.5. There. Ooh. What's the pivot point of this one? Okay, so that one. Oh my gosh. What? Oh, I was doing the. Wait, this is. Uh, that one's supposed to go over here. You can just say zero point 0.5 and you can move it around if it's a um the texture, the pixels it is on the blockbench model. You could if it's only one thick, you can just say 0.5 and move it around and it'll still stay at the 0.5. And here we go. This is where the bones should probably. Why is this there? Okay, we're gonna move this over here. Yeah, okay, that's better. And this is where you would probably want the bones to be this on this guy, and he's. Well, I don't know what this is, but what we're gonna want to do next is if you can toggle the graph editor, which is what I prefer to do. You can open up. You can click these, and it'll take you to those in the graph editor. What is going on? Figured it out. You have to just make an animation. What am I doing? I've done this like a jillion times. No, I'm just gonna say dot walk because I don't feel like hitting backspace that many times. And now you can click these and open them up. That took too long for me to figure out. Hold on, let me just put my mic on. Okay, my mic is on. That's good. I don't know why I had to check that. But now you can open up the graph editor is here. So it's just we can just do rotation here because that's what we're going to really focus on. But you can also do position and scale. Why did scale go up one? What happened? Oh, that's I'm not used to the scale thing. I never really used this. I should use this more often because it's at 1 because if we were to move it to 0, it would just disappear. It's just gone. It just disappears. I could use this. I could use this later. Alright. So what are these cubes? Actually, I'm not gonna question it. Oh, that's the resize thing. Okay. I'm still figuring things out. Okay, so this thing. Let's talk about this thing. This thing allows you to change the animation length. Now each of these is a second, right? Because as you can see, it's 1 second. That felt too long for a second. What's going on? Okay, but back to topic. Confusing myself. If you move this around, you can see it's. Oh, actually, hold up. So, two things about this. Firstly, you can move it around you can see here, that's not one of the things. But the first thing is that if you click this, wherever this is, there will be a point on the animation that is added. So I'm going to add one here, here, and here. So maybe one at each of these 5 points. Say we have one at each of the 5 points. I'm going to fast forward lots of the boring parts so you can get right to the action. And what I'm going to do, why am I moving it? Put it back there. Oh yeah, I can move these things. It's pretty funny. It's irritating sometimes though if I just want to have it there because that's where I'm used to it being. But no, that's me. But so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna. Oh, also there's 2 options for this. Firstly, this you can use the real. What happened to? Oh my gosh, what did I do? I broke his leg. Gonna put it like back where it was. Please stop. Okay, that's kind of okay. It's crooked. Okay. That's better. So, oh, hold up. Actually, there's something I need to show you. So I'm gonna put this to 20. I'm gonna put this to, oh yeah. So this is actually all you need to see. So you can see it, this blue line. Look at the blue line. As I move it, you can see as it just goes to the animation because this is actually what shows you where you are on the timeline. If you click these, it will not show what that looks like. You have to move over with this blue line. So if you're getting confused as why the heck is my animation not showing? Why can't they see what's animated? Because you're not using this. You need to use that. That problem I had once. So let's say I'm not going to use X because we're actually using Z for the what? Hold up. Why is it? I'm not going to ask questions, but this make this 0. It isn't really glitchy if you have this as nothing. It just thinks it's 0. I just like it to have a number. Better than it having none. So you're gonna skip past this or fast forward or whatever I'm gonna want to do later. Also, bringing up another point I have is if you want to just not have to place all these, you can just do this. It's cool. So we're gonna set this one to -20 as the other one was set to 20. So we want it to go backwards, where this one's going forwards. And we're just, so as you can see, it actually the line of the animation goes towards this, and it goes down up towards the other one. So if you want to set this one to be 20, it could be set to does too. 20, it'll be 20. So you don't have to set a point here because it will already render that as being part of the thing. So it's walking. And for walking, you'd also want to make it loop mode. So it keeps walking. She notices our little guy is walking. He's so cute. Look at him. Now you can see this better in other 3D models such as this guy. You can see he has 2 models, angry, normal, and you can see that he has a walking animation that looks like this. He kind of twitches. It took a bit to animate him because I couldn't quite figure out the angles correctly, but I eventually figured that out, and now it's just a lot easier to animate him. And then we also have his jump scare animation where he just, oh, normally he'd be angry when he does this, so I'm going to go over to the angry PNG and do this. And he just sticks like that because I didn't want resetting immediately and making it look like he teleported. I feel like it'd probably look, it's fine. But as you can see here that it took lots of, why is it? Yeah. No, I forgot to click the body parts. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. So you can see that on the head rotation, there's all these. It's just kind of simple because in the background you'll see the Y and X coordinates of this. It looks yellow because that's just what it does. But you see this? You can see it go through the animation. So you can see it right here where everything else is. On the other part, you can see that too. And also, my favorite is the cube. Oh yeah, that's me. Because I was decided to make sure I was credited for if anyone used this. And the animation, because there's only this, it's just so it just doesn't turn and look upwards. Just rotate up, like to look up at you like that. It's not. Oh, it's the okay. It doesn't look up at you like this. Like hey, hello. It doesn't look at you up. Look up at you. It's you like this, and it just let's move it downwards. No, no, hold up. What? Stop. All right, it's gonna fix you. That's good enough. Why is he off the ground? It confuses me. But oh, that's I'm gonna just delete that. So yeah, we don't have to do that. So what we do is we have a separate thing for his head, so that turns to look at us instead of the main cube body. And the reason this was kind of difficult is because normally if you were to do the rolling animation like this, it would go here, then immediately swap back, which would look like it teleported. So I'll create a separate walking animation where I'm going to show you that, and it's gonna be, delete that because there's only one cube. This is a lot easier. What, dude? Oh my god. Oh, I don't want it to have you on loop. We're gonna just play once. We're gonna move this. What is? Okay. Okay. So we're just gonna delete these cubes. Delete the cubes. Okay. Better. Now where's the thing? There we go. Here it is. Okay. So yeah, it's just gonna do this, and then we're gonna have we're gonna actually have a. So yeah, it does this, and it just and then it resets to so you can see the eye right here, and then you reset it, and it's right there. That looks wrong, but this it's just that looped 4 times, and then it just loops perfectly because it's rotated 360 degrees near the end, which is what I highly recommend doing if you're gonna want to animate something like this because it's gonna look a lot less clean if you just animate it roll 190 degrees. Because if you do that, it's gonna just teleport back to how it would normally look. So it's like it looks wrong. So I really would not recommend doing that. You can see I could paint it. I'm not gonna save this. Just paint all over him. His lines on the cube. Someone could do a before and after meme of the little guy just made in the cube. Wait, did it? Okay. Also, side note, you can increase the size of the brush like this. Or just type it in if you want. Then it'll just be 10 times larger. And you can just cover the entire side of this cube in purple. I tried the color on purple. But yeah, now it's purple. He fell in purple paint. Just leave these animations because we don't want this. Ah, what was that? Why was he jumping? He was jumping. That wasn't an animation. Okay, wait. That was... Alright, that was actually kind of crazy. I forgot I was in the second animation so when I played it. He was jumping. Alright. That was kind of cool. Ooh, actually, we're gonna give this guy a little smile. I'm not doing that. That could have ended badly. The poor little guy could have just had his entire face rearranged. There you go. He's all happy now. He's super happy. He's a happy little guy. And if there's anything else you guys need to know about blockbench or how to maneuver it, you can just ask me in the comments. I also hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you later. Bye.